Welcome to Empowering Innovators, the YouTube series where we'll talk about innovation the startup way. Today I have with me John van der End, CEO of SPAR the Netherlands. Welcome, John.
Thank you.
If you talk about innovation, is that also something that is in the DNA of SPAR? Maybe looking at technology, but also launching different formats. Can you explain a little bit how you look at those two things and how SPAR looks at innovation in general?
Yeah, especially with your positioning in the market. Normally when we start in a new country, we say, okay, for this moment, for this kind of customers, we think this format will work. But for example, in the Netherlands, we used to have supermarkets, and now we are more in convenience stores or convenient neighborhood stores.
Right.
And that is really in the DNA. Yeah. But what we bring, and especially also in the Netherlands, is this focus on digitalization.
Right.
To get to know your customer better. Yeah. And you see that also in some other countries, and they will be grouped, and then we learn from each other, and they are the leading practice countries, and
they bring it and they roll it out. So if you look at innovation, there is obviously format innovation, which SPAR is strong at, smaller formats, closer to consumers, in universities, at camping sites, and then there is product innovation, more on the sustainability of packaging and all kind of new products, let's say, how you launch. But there's also business model innovation, which maybe plays more into the, let's say, direct to consumer or collaborating with your suppliers, maybe the Nestle's and Friesland Campinas of this world, on creating new business models together. How do you look at that part of innovation, looking at new business models? Do you see opportunities there?
Yeah, and we see more and more that we're working together with partners. And for example, the Unilevers or the Procter & Gambles. But what I also see is that we're learning more from startups or scale-up companies who can help us, for example, in a CRM system. So that depends a little bit on what we're working at. Yeah. But on the product side, there are of course interesting things. We think at this moment, a average consumer has 6 times of eating on a daytime. So there's a breakfast, a snack, a lunch, a snack, dinner, and also a snack. And those 6 moments we're focusing on. And what are the consumer eating? And that depends on in which age you are, and really play that game to be on top of those assortments.
Yeah. And if you know that, can you then also maybe like a HelloFresh does, do things on a subscription kind of basis? Yeah. Because if you know that every week I consume this and this, is this something that you're looking at, that you would sell me a subscription from SPAR on specific needs, or?
Well, we do already, and that's for the elder people. Yeah. We have a complete set dinner. And with the right proteins and right vitamins in those, and if you have elder parents living somewhere in the east of the Netherlands, you can order that and prescribe.
You have a subscription basically. Okay. And do you see that those business models growing, or is it?
But what we see at convenience, convenience, you have to be near to your customer. And that's also a nice example. I learned that from one of the pizza guys. For my age, if I want to order pizza, I still want to walk 300 meters to get my pizza and bring it back to my house. Yeah. My children again,
they don't want to walk
100 meters, and otherwise they want to have it delivered. So if you want to be as near to the customer as we are with our stores, so you have to look into that. And what kind of delivery range, and that's what we're looking at now.
Yeah. So you're getting closer and closer
to the need of the customer.
Right.
Because a customer is differently when they are in the office and they want some catering than they're at home.
Does that mean that you will eventually launch more outlets, smaller, bigger, being closer, or is that also means that you're going to deliver to me more often at home?
We are looking into it, and I think we do it both. And if it has to be manned or unmanned or delivered, because we're looking also into manned or unmanned stores. We are looking into delivery and those things. It has to be, SPAR has to be near to the customer. And if it's on a digital way or on a brick and mortar way, we are finding out and we're learning at this moment very quickly.
Right.
Yeah, so but it's a very interesting moment in food retail.
I can imagine.
Because the convenience is getting so quickly that, you have to pick that up. But there is one of the big drivers in this industry, of course, is cost, because we have small margins. So you have to be very careful in what kind of decisions you make. And that's why the way we're working together so good. That we are learning now. We're testing first, and we can test very quickly before we make capital investments.
John, let's quickly talk about the topic that we all have experienced since this year, which is that convenience has become more important since we are now dealing with a virus that is all around the world. You see that food retailers have been growing. People are still spending quite a bit of money in stores, maybe buying more products or more luxurious. They're stacking up. Is this changing the way you look at food retail? Did it give you new insights that you didn't have before?
Well, first for the short term, you saw that food service was out of business. The restaurants had to close and the hotels. So you saw that people were spending more money inside their homes. First they started stocking up. The toilet paper was very famous in the world. But then people learned, hey, I can't go to a restaurant. So they start learning to eat a better quality. Or, for example, a wine. Normally an average price on wine in the Netherlands for a bottle is, I think, 4 or 5 euros. But if you go to a restaurant, you order a house wine and that's 20 euros. So if you take a 20 euro bottle
from SPAR,
you have an excellent, and that's what we see. That's the first thing. The other thing what we saw is we as SPAR in the Netherlands have smaller stores, and that customers feel more comfortable in smaller stores. They feel more safe.
Makes sense.
And now if you have a trusted brand, and SPAR is a trusted brand, you don't need 12 pots of peanut butter, for example. 3 is enough. They say, hey, SPAR made the right choice, and one of the 3 I can pick. And that helped us a lot. We grow above market in the Netherlands, and we think, that's here to stay. And then we tried to get some older people, and I said older, 50 plus, to get online and ordering online, and especially the grandparents from 60.
You see that happening now
75,
more often?
And we thought about programs and how to get those people. And COVID came, and they just start ordering online. And that's also
that accelerates basically the exception and the adaptation rate.
Exactly.
And if you talk about food services, what kind of innovation do you see there?
I see that is getting very close to each other, food retail and food service. I can tell you that in a couple of days' time, we will announce that we will take over a food service company. That is, and why? Because I think in food retail there is customer friendliness, and in food service there's hospitality. And so that's a big difference. And I've worked in both industries. And there's a big difference. So we have to bring more hospitality to our convenience stores, and that's why we take some culture in to learn from that and to mix that with food retail.
And what's your definition then of food service? Where does that start and where does that end?
Food service is ready, fixed to eat product. that
being made
instantly,
fresh, maybe
freshly made. So actually the restaurant business, and it's smart food. What we're taking over. It's not fast food, but smart food, healthy, but very quickly.
Cool.